Hello, this is Joseph Blanchett, aka Legendary Frog, and this is another commentary. Let's take a moment to appreciate my reference to Chrono Trigger here, one of my favorite RPGs. At the beginning of most of my movies, I like to do a little parody of some sort of opening or introduction, and this one was for Chrono Trigger. That's where the name Legendary Frog came from, actually. It's from the character Frog. Which that's a whole other story. We're talking about Ark and Kerrigan's big invention here. Well, Kerri's big invention. It's only her. She's the only creative one out of those two. I'm doing this commentary before I do All Your Pie, which is the second Ark and Kerrigan movie. I'm actually rendering this video for something else, so I decided, what the heck, I'll do a commentary. So I like to put a lot of old school references, not old school at this point, but a lot of video game references in these Ark and Kerrigan movies. At least this one, at least. So Pikmin was a game that came out, and just put a little reference in there. Just like this. I have no idea what this bear is nowadays. Back in the day, it was some sort of Newgrounds thing. So was it a swear bear? I think. Yeah, I guess he said naughty words. So sometimes I get asked, especially back in the day, where Ark and Kerrigan came from. And there were characters of mine from a story that I started to develop in high school. It wasn't a cartoon or anything. It was, a quote-unquote serious story. And just one day, I drew them as chibis in high school. And I was like, because I had a friend who was all into anime. So I said, I'm just going to draw my characters for fun. And that's where, the very first Kerrigan movie where it's just kind of like a narration of her talking to a frog or something. I forget. That's where that came from. I was going to make this as cute as possible. And eventually I made All Your Pie, deciding to use the characters, which I'll do a commentary for that one too. But but they're from this series stories with aliens, and Kerrigan's actually a mutant in that story. Not an alien. It's kind of an alien. But this came after One Ring 2 and Returning Ganondorf, so I had some experience telling self-contained stories at this point. And I think, aside from some pacing issues, this one turned out pretty good. I kind of... it's going to sound like I'm bragging, but I think I kind of nailed Senia and Sal here for their first appearance. Because they say, even though there hasn't been a lot of Ark and Kerrigan stuff after this, I feel their characters have stayed consistent, like in the comics and stuff. And if you listen to some of the old podcasts, I did try to make another Ark and Kerrigan movie, and it didn't quite turn out. But I still use the basis of those characters as I use these characters moving forward, like their personalities and stuff. Back in the Flash days, that clock in the background told the real time, which you can tell I did it around 2:30 or 1:30. That's when I rendered the video, I guess. Ooh, my nizzle. Can I say that these days? Resident Evil Flash Edition poster in the background. I guess I was already working on that when I was making this. That's my next project. The B plot of Ark has having his fingers stuck in a finger trap. I wish I remembered where these ideas came from. They were just so long ago. It may not make for interesting commentary, but yeah, it's let's have a B plot of Ark having his finger in a finger trap. Oh, this is another random thing. These Final Fantasy X parodies. I made 2 of them. And you would get a random one every time you played the movie. And if you replayed the movie, you got the other one. And I'll have the other one at the end of this one. But then if you played it a third time, you got a what I called a chocolate parody, which was a crudely drawn movie about the characters talking about chocolate, and that's uploaded on this channel in other places. I'll make a little tag up top, a little card. Um, so that was a fun thing to do. Something you can't do just in, just regular old video. Just have random stuff happen in the movie. Like in the Zelda cartoon, the poster at the back of Ganondorf's room was random depending on what day it was. Just little fun stuff like that. So this Metal Gear parody, I believe this model was from a game that was in kind of production from one of my old Flash friends who I haven't stayed in contact with. He wanted to do like a Metal Gear Solid game, and like I would do the art and stuff and have an original story. And that's where Metal Gear Crisis came in, another Flash parody, another Metal Gear parody I made a couple years later with another animator, Nalo. So I had the story from that, but I had those models drawn. Here's a weird Arkin Kerrigan character, the monkey and the duck. They're I guess they're officially canon. I haven't really thought about them much. I did do a comic when I revived the comics for a brief time. The duck was in one of them, so yeah, they have a pet duck and monkey, and the monkey likes it, and they like to dress up as different things. This song was Genius Science Girl. I can't remember the band name. I'm so sorry. Was from Amplitude, a PS2 music game, and I really liked it. And they actually contacted me via email, saying, "Hey, I wish you would have asked permission to use our song in your cartoon back on Newgrounds." So one, it was cool that they actually saw the cartoon. They got a word of it somehow, and back then we just didn't think about it. We just used music willy-nilly. So I gave them proper credit in the credits. I'm kind of worried about YouTube these days, about the algorithm. We'll see what happens with it's like the copyright algorithm. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, but that was a cool thing, an email from a band. Even if it was like, hey, I wish you would have asked first. I think this is the only time I use like a full-on song. Yeah, I was a big Soul Calibur 2 fan. This is based off of. So, put a little Soul Calibur parody in there. Nightmare was one of my favorite characters. Asenia in the real story, quote-unquote real story, had a staff. So I was like, oh, she's kind of like Sung Mina. So I put that little thing in there. Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Hope that's another copyrighted thing. Wasn't that on Family Guy and the creator got all mad that they used it without permission? Ooh, he's gonna solve it. He solved the finger trap. Good job, Ark. Proud of you. Oh. Uh-oh. Should have had like the eyes flash red. There's something in the darkness here. It's like good horror movies. It's better left to the imagination of what actually happens. Like the minute you see the alien or the shark, it gets just loses some of its scariness. Oh, the end. But here's the other parody. In this case, it's Auron and Titus. I actually had a third one that parodied the very intro of Final Fantasy X, but I didn't think it was very funny. So I didn't do it. It was Titus repeating the Beverly Hillbillies introduction. I think. I don't say this much on my commentaries, but support on Patreon would be awesome. We're making a brand new movie, One Ring to Rule Them All 4, and it's going to be really big and take a lot of work, and every little bit helps with that. This has been Joseph Blanchett, and thanks for watching.